What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. We got a special guest, Iccy. What's up?
How y'all doing, everybody? I'm back again. I know y'all love seeing my face.
You back from where? You sleep?
Well, because I've done the group chats and stuff like that, you know. People see me,
So if they seen you, then what are you
they
back
get they're
from?
familiar. Oh, well, the Boxingego group chats, previous meetings and stuff. Y'all see how Ego had a one-on-one with me in the channel like a month or two back. Y'all
Your
can
hair
go
didn't
look
look
for
like
that if
that
y'all want. But just
a month ago. What happened? Your hair didn't look.
what you
It didn't
mean?
look different now.
I had a hat on.
Nah. Oh yeah, you might have actually. Are you growing it out for the pandemic?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a haircut soon though. I was gonna wait, but I'll probably in the next few days I'll have a haircut. I'm gonna get chopped for
You about
sure.
to grow dreads like J. Cole?
Nah, I do want to get braids though.
Have you ever had braids before?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, up until going into sixth grade, I had an afro. My mom would braid my hair and shit. I didn't like when she would put it in a man bun though. I couldn't. I hated that.
Oh wow.
It was annoying, bro. Like sometimes I just wanted to wear my afro out, and she would like put my hair up in a bun and shit. I hated that.
Yo, wow. Man, so Showtime Boxing, it sounds like they're trying to come with some heat. I don't know if you heard all the announcements, but they're saying Showtime Boxing is doing a major, like they've done in the past, Premier Boxing Champs, the Showtime and Fox up front. I guess Showtime is doing one where they're just announcing just hella fights all at once. They worked on their schedule. Have you heard about any of them?
Yeah, a lot of we're gonna say rumors for now, but they're looking like more than just rumors. Tank and Santa Cruz is
Let's
good.
start there.
I'm not
Let's
sure.
just start there.
Tank Santa
Yeah.
Cruz.
What's your thoughts on
Okay,
the fight?
I love that. That's a great fight.
I think it's gonna
Shout out
be
to you, Ego, because
shout out to me.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say shout out to you because you were the first one to kind of put it out there that PBC or some people were working on that basically.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
knew
And now
that for a minute. I remember that.
it's come to fruition, and it's looking like we're gonna get that real soon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I keep seeing people say like shit like, and don't get me wrong, like I think this is a good fight. I am slightly edging Tank, but this is not gonna be like no ass whooping, and he's just gonna put on Leo Santa Cruz. I don't know where y'all getting that shit from though.
I
Like this,
I think it's fear. I think
what?
it's fear. Like when they're rooting for someone to do bad, sometimes they just you know what I'm saying? And if they think the fighter's like I think Tank will be the favorite. So there's a lot of fear from the
Yeah.
people who believe that Tank wins because they want Leo Santa Cruz to win, possibly. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of what it is. It's like they know Tank is going to be probably the favorite. I can't say heavy favorite, but I think they believe he'll be the favorite. So as a result, they're trying to downplay the fight. Like I've heard people even saying it's a cherry pick, and I'm like, where did that come from? You think it's a cherry pick?
Yeah, that's hell no. That's nonsense, bro. Leo Santa Cruz is a great fighter. Isn't he a two-time world
Yeah.
champion? Two-time world champion. Yeah, only loss he suffered, he got it back with Carl Frampton. Um, you know what? And people were giving him flack for the fight with what was his last fight against that dude
Flores.
on the
Flores.
yeah on the undercard of Wilder
Yeah.
Ortiz, right? I enjoyed that fight, to be honest. Like just straight up, I don't see he controlled damn near every round. It seemed like so. I like Leo Santa Cruz, and when you put him in there with somebody that's gonna be chucking him, he's gonna be chucking him right back. So this would be a good fight for both dudes, a hard fight for both dudes. Tank has the advantage, obviously, though, in terms of I'd say just straight up, raw power and the fact that he's more familiar with 130 than Santa Cruz is, I think. So we're gonna see what happens. But this is not no damn cherry pick. And in my opinion, I could be wrong, but Tank is not finna just go in there and laid a smackdown on Leo Santa Cruz all night. I don't know where y'all getting that from.
Oh no.
To me, like
Yeah,
this.
I think it's an awesome fight. Yeah, the other variable is Tank just fought Gamboa at 135, so he's most likely traveling back unless it's a catch weight, which we have to wait for them to make it official. But I'm assuming it's going to be 130 or a catch weight in between. I don't think it'll be at 135. So if it's at a catch weight or 130, then he has to drop extra weight from where he just fought Gamboa. So as a result, weight cuts 1 pound can make a difference. So that kind of leverages, to me, the playing field. If Leo Santa Cruz, he just moved up to 130, and Tank, who's had some problem making weight in the past in a couple of fights, has to lose more weight. Do you think weight is something Tank has to worry about? Like making it the right way and all that?
Uh, yes and no, because like you said, he did just move up to 135. But I noticed that with certain fighters who move weight correctly, for instance, like Terrence Crawford, a lot of times it takes them a bit of time for their bodies to truly acclimate to the new weight class that they're going to be in. Like Terrence Crawford looks more like he looks more like he's filled out as a 147 pounder more than when he first got to the division. So I would say for Tank, as far as making 130, I don't think or getting down there, I don't think it'll take a toll on his body just because he hasn't been at 135 that long. Then again, I don't know what he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's put on muscle mass like that. So I can't really say no. But as far as actually making the weight, then that's a problem. That could be a problem because his first fight at 135, he missed weight, and that's 5 pounds of leniency right there. And he's missed weight a bunch of times at 130. So yes and no. I would, hopefully the stars align and then whatever weight they decide to set the fight at, both guys come in tip top shape, a pound under or on the weight limit.
Yeah. It's just a gamble, you have to concentrate on making the weight and being reasonable, being reasonable with your weight. Because when you look at like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Canelo, it looked like he gave everything he had just making it on the scale. And then on the fight night, he had nothing for Canelo, like zero. And I know that's Chavez Jr. and I'll
Yeah.
never compare Tank to Chavez Jr. I'm just saying, like, you got to make weight. It's a science. You got to make weight in the right way. And if you don't, then you could be depleted on fight night. So it's just something to think about. I'm just playing devil's advocate. We know Tank's a professional. So
Yeah, for sure.
what about stylistically?
That's stylistically, I think is where we're going to really see. Well, in my head, I think is the most exciting part of the whole matchup because Tank is a boxer puncher who
Southpaw?
he, yeah, southpaw, and he will like fight with you. Like he's not afraid to trade. What's up? What were you gonna say, or what'd
I
you
said
say?
clearly.
Yeah, so he will throw him with you. But Santa Cruz is also a boxer puncher again, I feel like. But whereas Tank is more, when they throw in power shots, Tank is more the guy that will kind of pick where to throw him. Whereas Leo, if you put that pressure on him, like if you give him the opportunity, he's throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you. Like it's a volume puncher versus I guess what would I call Tank? Like I'm not sure what the term would be for his style aside from boxer puncher, but someone who picks their shots more versus someone who's going to be throwing a lot more at a lot higher rate. So I just think that's very interesting to me. I don't know if a lot of people are seeing it like that, but I think it's very interesting because that's gonna decide. It's almost like, and it's not like both of these dudes. It's not like Leo Santa Cruz is not a hard puncher. You know what I'm saying? He may not hit as hard as Tank necessarily at 130. We got to see, but it's basically gonna be. I feel like a lot of the rounds are gonna come down to more effective punches versus how many punches were thrown by or landed by another person. You know what I'm saying?
All right, speed
So,
round. I'm gonna give you both fighters, Leo Santa Cruz and Tank, and then you tell me who you edge in that category. You get it? So I'll give you a category, and you tell me who gets the edge. Don't say nothing more, nothing less. Just the name of the fighter. Speed round. So speed, Leo or Tank, who edges the person in speed?
damn.
Speed round, go. Come on, Iccy, come on. Who would you give the edge to speed in?
Tank.
Okay. Chin.
Tank.
Oh, you stumbling. Come on, speed round. Speed. You can say tie if it's a must.
I'm gonna have to say tie
Okay.
just because
Height. I said no explanation, just nothing. I'm just
all right.
height.
Height Santa Cruz.
Okay. Reach, just off of the top of your head. Reach.
Santa Cruz.
Volume punching.
Santa
Power
Cruz.
shots.
Tank.
More difficult style altogether, just like for anybody in the division. Like harder to beat.
Tank.
Experience.
Santa Cruz.
Okay, okay. Let's get the experience. You give it to Santa Cruz?
Are we talking
Pro.
just professional or like
I don't know, amateur and pro.
Santa Cruz has more pro fights, right?
Yeah,
and
he
more
does.
championship fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Cruz.
I don't know. That's a good one. I got to look that up because Tank is a 3-time champion at his age. He beat Jesus.
That's true.
He beat
You're right.
Jesus quite, but it just depends on what we're talking about. Like some people would say Carl Frampton, 2 fights with him. You know, so it just depends on what you're talking about. But
Now I don't think about it.
Tank fought
Yeah, experience
Pedraza.
is a weird one.
Pedraza, the Liam Walsh, and he fought against Gamboa, gold medalist. He fought against Jesus Cuellar, former champion. Leo, Eric Morale. He fought against actually, I think Leo would get it because he got 2 Abdomatises at the Staples Center. He got 2 Carl Frampton, so he probably has the big fight experience because he has more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. But like experience, just generally is a weird thing because if you're talking about experience in more weight classes, then you could probably give it to the Tank. If you're talking about experience with like different types of styles and stuff like that, you could judge it based on that. But if we're just saying pro experience just in general, I would have to edge
What
it
about
to
momentum?
Leo.
Who carries more momentum into this fight?
Oh, Tank for sure.
Why you say Tank?
He just had. I mean, people could talk shit about Gamboa all they want to, but that and then the Ruiz knockout, sold out shows look like damn near, and then those are fun nights of boxing. Nothing against Leo Santa Cruz, but a lot of people, like I alluded to earlier, didn't really enjoy his last fight, and it was also
I think that's haters
the
though.
undercard.
I think that's a lot of the hate because I was there and it was lit. Clarissa Shields was there.
Yeah, I like
Shaquille O'Neal. You know, it's crazy.
It was also an undercard though.
Pascal, yeah.
Whereas Tank.
I can't hear you.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
So Leo Santa Cruz last fight was an undercard, whereas Tank's last 2 fights were main events.
Last 3.
You feel me?
Tank last 3.
Last
Because
3,
he had the Baltimore one against the mandatory Nunes. Then it was supposed to be Abdomatis.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be Abdomatis,
That's
and then he got an eye injury, so he fought the Ruiz late terms. He fought 3 times last year. So
was the Ruiz before the Nunes fight or after?
No, that was the first, and it was in February. He came out to Thriller. Okay. Remember, he had the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yeah, he was dancing and shit. That was dope.
See, all in all, I think it's a really good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I really like both guys' careers, so we'll see what they say with the matchup in terms of weight and, all the specifics. But I like it. I don't see no reason that people are hating, but, haters will hate. Like, because the funny thing with...
Hey, man, because it's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, he about to get that guap. Gamboa.
There's nothing to be mad
You
about.
said that people were hating on the Gamboa fight. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I just seen Devin Haney. He just put on Twitter that he might be negotiating with Gamboa. Did you see that?
I saw
What do you
it.
think of that fight? Solid?
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, it's a solid fight. I would prefer other matchups, but it don't look like those are going to happen right now, unfortunately. And Yuriorkis Gamboa, whether he's old or not, like he's still Olympic gold medalist and gave people like Terrence Crawford problems. And he was even giving Tank some issues with I think what, like a torn Achilles or something in the ring. Tank won, you know, and I'm not saying like it wasn't. He did his thing. He was solving a lot of what Gamboa was throwing at him as far as poses and whatnot. But I'm not mad at it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? If that's what Devin has to do right now, then I guess, you know. And of course, they're going to take that performance with the Gamboa fight and then Tank's performance, and they're going to measure them against each other. So Devin, I hope, you know, he seems like the kind of person that not let pressure and anything get to him. But you have to wonder if that kind of stuff affects a fighter. You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
definitely
Like
has to
a
be
rival.
considered.
Yeah, so that's interesting to me to think about the role that might play in the mind of Devin Haney. But I think he'll totally be fine.
Now, switching gears, part of the Showtime announcement, a lot of the rumors are just flying in. They're saying Jermall Charlo versus Derevyanchenko is done, pay-per-view, and Jermall Charlo versus Jason Rosario. What are those fights? Good, bad? What do you make of those fights?
Those are damn good fights. And honestly, Charlo versus Rosario is fight of the year
In the making?
quality on
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Bro.
mean,
Is that going 12?
hell no.
That's what I was thinking.
Hell
I
no.
don't see how it can.
I would be damned.
I don't think it can go 12.
I don't think either fight is going 12, but
True,
for
true,
different
true,
reasons.
true.
But yeah, nah, Rosario and Jermell, that's gonna be crazy.
So I did a video about that fight, like announcing, you know, that it looked like it was done. And somebody said Charlo is cherry picking Rosario. What's your thoughts on that? Did you see Rosario versus Julian J. Rock Williams?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's a cherry
I
pick?
saw it live too.
You think you agree with him? He's a cherry pick for Charlo?
Nah,
That's what someone said in my
when did I see
comments.
that? Nah, he a Patrick Teixeira fan.
Hey, you wildin', bro.
But nah.
Why is it not a cherry pick then?
Yeah, I watched.
That's
Ain't no damn cherry pick. Julian J. Rock Williams got them titles off of Jared Hurd, who had a lot of momentum and was looking like that dude at
he beat
154.
Lotta.
A lot of people was picking him. Exactly. And you could say, oh, like a lot of people like to discredit Hurd and, oh, he's just a big oaf and he blah, blah, blah. And fuck that. Hurd has skills. They're just unconventional skills. Like they're not things that you'll traditionally find in a boxing gym. But he has skills and techniques that he puts on display every time he steps foot in the ring. And if you can't find the beauty in that or the value in that, then I'm sorry. This might not be the sport for you. But
you know, I got to jump in real quick. The funny thing about old media is you notice when there's a guy who is not the most technically proficient, like let's say Deontay Wilder or Jared Hurd, people complain. But then you have the master, Floyd Mayweather, who's the most technical, tactical fighter, and some of those same fans complain about Mayweather, and he's the most technical. So it's like, which one do you want? You know what I'm saying? You don't like Hurd because you say his defense ain't tight enough. You don't like Wilder because this and that. He's not technical enough. But then you don't like Floyd, who's super technical and all around a good fighter with all skills. You know what I'm saying? Like complete fighter skills. So it's like, how can you please these fans?
And I don't know, bro. Honestly, a group of them will never be pleased. But Hurd was is a dope fighter, I should say. But yeah, J Rock went in there and
that was a hometown fight
took
too.
him apart. Yeah, so imagine the pressure that J Rock was in, like going to somebody else's neighborhood fighting a world champion with 2 belts, coming off of a fight of the year, and then so he goes in there and he gets into Hurd's wheelhouse, the inside fight, which is supposed to be Hurd's wheelhouse, his thing, and J Rock goes in there and takes all of that away from him, made it look like, not to say he made it look easy, but it didn't look that hard either. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure under the pressure,
he made it look easy, even though it probably wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you know
Mayweather
what
made the
I'm saying?
Canelo
But
fight look easy, but we know Canelo's a good fighter, so it wasn't easy if you're not Floyd or following the script. So
of course, yeah. So J Rock, it's a masterful performance, absolutely
that was
masterful
one of my fight
performance.
of the years. It was up there. That was a great fight. J Rock.
Yo, some
Hurt.
people, it was but oh man, there was so many good fights last year. It was crazy.
That was my fight of the year, I think, until Sean Porter, Errol Spence trumped it. But they were both was like crack. I was at the Sean Porter, so maybe that's just, I was at the Errol Spence Sean Porter, so maybe that's part of it, because I was like, wow, what is this? But they were all both great fights for sure.
Yeah, bro, we was going bananas in the stadium, man. That was a wild night to be in the stadium, man. That could be a whole nother video.
Yeah, we'll
just
say
us talking
that
about
for that. But some good fights. So these are good fights too? You think that, especially we're in a pandemic, so.
J Rock goes in, J Rock snatches the belts from her, takes them away from the champion, and then his first defense is against a dude, Jason Rosario, who, like I said in another group chat, that he didn't even have a Wikipedia by the time he fought J Rock. And then he goes in there with J Rock, and after round 1, it was the Jason Rosario show. I'm watching, and it was almost like watching something knowing that a bad thing is about to happen. Not to say a bad thing like, oh, I wanted one person to win or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm a J-Rock fan. He's a cool dude. But it was like looking at it and you seeing what's happening, and you're just looking at like destruction unfolding. You know what I'm saying? Like some ominous is in the air, kind of. So when I seen that, I was like, damn. And then this is the dude that, you know what I'm saying, has the belts now. Ideally, I would have liked to see Rosario defend his belt against someone before a Jermall unification.
I don't think so. In my opinion.
They're like at the same time, like this is not just anybody that he ran to. He did it to J Rock. He did it.
So my thing is
he's the real deal, obviously.
My thing is strike while the iron's hot. He just had the hottest performance, went into Julian J Rock Williams' backyard of Philly and took the titles. J Rock opted to not do the immediate rematch to probably get a tune-up, which is probably wise. Get your bearings back and stuff.
Well, he had.
Oh, he did have that too. But even if he didn't, do you think he guaranteed would go to the rematch? I mean, the way the fight played out, it would have been. It would have been do or die type of scenario. So that's just a lot of pressure. So if you have a little bit of time to squeeze one in, I think maybe he would have did that anyway. You know what I mean? But either way, he has the surgery, so he definitely don't want to go into a tough fight like that without letting your eye heal or whatnot. So I think it's just a matter of striking while the iron's hot. It's a unification. Charlo coming off the Harrison performance, that was another stop. They're both coming off stoppage wins. So if you give them a light touch,
I don't even say like. Well, one thing I was gonna say real quick. Sorry, this is very interesting on Jermall's part because, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. No, I might be wrong. Well, yeah, I'm probably wrong because I think Tony Harrison is an inch taller than him. But Jason Rosario is a big ass dude.
Yeah, he is.
A big ass 154 pounder. So that's gonna be interesting to see how Jermall makes up for that in the fight. They're both gonna have things they're gonna need to work on specifically for each other. But I'm really interested to see that.
I think
I'm interested to see.
I think Jermall, he got the way better overall skill set, but he can't get reckless or too hyped, because he's a great finisher. Because this dude got crazy power, so he always has to be respectful. and respectful of his opponent, because this guy got cracks. I seen him in other fight, even the fight where he got stopped, because Rosario's been stopped in his career, and
Yeah.
he even hurt the guy that stopped him. You know what I mean? So I think,
But yeah, seeing what Rosario did to other opponents like Javante Clark and shit, and Clark is a good fighter.
mhm.
So
I just think Rosario doesn't have much defense, but he's durable. You know, he's durable. So it's an interest. The temperaments is what really intrigues me, because I feel like it's combustible. Like, I don't see how Jermall and Rosario get in that ring or get to fight week chill. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's gonna be like an explosive chess match of who lands what first.
oh, for
I don't
sure.
know, just the temperaments of the two. It's like two Rams or something. You know, and they both got the power to hurt each other. So I like it. What do you,
For sure, for sure.
Jermall versus Derevyanchenko?
Y'all already know how I feel about that fight. I cannot wait for it. I'm excited. I think that's going to be a good fight. I think Jermall got it by stoppage, and I know y'all are going to hate. Well, certain people are going to hate hearing that. But I got Jermall by stoppage. I think he is going to go in there and show people something that they were not expecting. Do I think Derevyanchenko has a chance of winning? Yes, but I'm thinking Jermall's got this for sure.
What's
And I think, yeah.
keep going?
What's
Keep
up?
going.
Well, I was going to say he's going to go in there and put on a show for everybody.
What's underrated about Jermall Charlo?
Jermall Charlo has very underrated skills in his arsenal. We discussed them, behind the scenes and whatnot. But the main one, in my opinion, well, the main two are his counter punching and his inside work. Jermall's a very underrated counter puncher. Jermall's counter punching is excellent, and it's very subtle too. So he does a lot of very subtle things in the ring that most people are not going to pick up on if they're not paying attention. His inside work is dope too. I've seen him, throw uppercuts and whatnot on the inside when dudes is like trying to get in his chest, whatever, blah, blah. He's hurt and knocked people out off of exchanges or, counter with jabs and stuff like that. So, and there are two main types of counters. There's, the counter punch that you can land while someone is throwing a punch at you, and the counter punch that you can land after their punch has already come out. You know what I'm saying? And he's displayed that he's proficient in both. So when he steps in the ring against Derevyanchenko, I think that's going to be a very valuable asset to him. Just knowing how to handle someone who's going to be coming with that forward pressure, volume punching, head weaving, things like that. I think it's going to be a very, very valuable asset for Jermall. Another thing I feel like that's underrated about Jermall is his speed. I keep hearing somebody was trying to tell me that the Charlos throw every punch with the same speed. That's just not true. Like, I've seen when they're like trying to measure, and they'll set a jab out there, whatever, and then they'll see that they can get you with a good one, and then they'll chunk it at you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to push you back. So Jermall is a very fast fighter, fast with his feet, fast with his hands. Maybe not as fast as some other people. I think Canelo has a slight speed edge on him, but Jermall is a fast fighter for sure.
If you look at his fight with Julian J. Rock Williams, J. Rock threw like kind of a lazy 1-2, and his uppercut counter was vicious, and it was like textbook. You know what I'm saying? How he threw that uppy at J. Rock that hurt him, that set up the knockout.
Sure.
I mean, that was like textbook stuff. With the counter, just bah, bah.
And I've shown people that, and they didn't even see what happened the first time. Like, I have to go back and rewind it so they can see. You know what I'm saying?
It's an underrated one too. I was at the fight in Houston, Jermall Charlo with Brandon Adams. I think that was a subtle beauty for the real boxing fans to watch. People I think they expected Charlo to get a knockout, and because there was no knockout, maybe they were disappointed. But Charlo was doing some beautiful work in there against Brandon Adams. And I think Brandon Adams became, over the course, apprehensive. And he was kind of gun shy and more or less in survival mode. because Charlo was looking sharp and he was fighting off of the ropes, and I think he was just over. Brandon Adams was like kind of overmatched, and he took little small chances but nothing big because he seen what he was in there with. So that's a subtle beauty from
Yeah.
Charlo where people didn't give him full credit. But the other thing is, I think Charlo's last couple of fights have prepared him for Derevyanchenko, who's awkward. It's a test. It's a great fight. But Dennis Hogan, he was awkward as shit. He was like moving a lot,
That kangaroo style.
yeah, he was just like really awkward. He gave Jaime Munguia all the issues in the world, but Charlo chopped him up.
He beat Jaime.
Oh yeah, he did. But Hogan got chopped up because you seen a patient, composed Charlo, and then the Brandon Adams, he was a mover and he had good upper body movement, and he was just kind of sly, and he was smaller, so you had to punch downward and stuff like that. So I think all of that, those crafty, fidgety type of styles that Charlo's recently fought, like Hogan and Brandon Adams, prepares him for Derevyanchenko. The only difference is Derevyanchenko, he was giving Golovkin angles, but he got more pop than those other guys, in my opinion. So it makes him dangerous.
Jermall is not like angles are not something that he is not seen before.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's gonna be like Triple G obviously struggles with that kind of stuff. Jermall is not
Triple
like
G
because
was-
Brandon was doing all type of weird shit.
Them angles was giving Triple G work.
Yeah, Brandon, like Hogan and Brandon Adams were coming at Jermall from like both sides and shit.
And changing
like
levels.
the center, the front. Yeah, doing all types of like weird ass maneuvering and stuff. And at times it was working for them, but Jermall just the longer the fight gets, the stronger he gets almost. And he's going to figure you out. Like after round 2, I think round 2 is when Jermall kind of was the most. Well, the first 2 rounds was when he was kind of the most, okay, whatever, I'm kind of seeing what this dude is doing in the Hogan fight. And then after round 2, it was just downhill for Dennis from there. You know what I'm saying? Adams, what's up?
The third guy that I was going to say is Korobov. He was awkward as hell, too.
Hell yeah,
so it's like, to me, I think Jermall has like kind of an advantage because he had 1 week notice for Matt Korobov. He's a southpaw. His straight left is money. He got that Adonis Stevenson Pacquiao kind of straight left. He was hitting Chris Eubanks with it. So I think the Korobov 1 week notice, not really training for him, training for Willie Monroe. I think that was an awkward guy. Brandon Adams and then Dennis Hogan. So he's been building for a guy like Derevyanchenko. So I can see where you're coming from with the stoppage. Because his last 3 guys were awkward.
Told people too.
Isn't that his last 3 opponents?
Exactly.
His last 3 guys were awkward.
Korobov, Adams, Hogan.
Yeah.
Yep. And what's funny? Like I told people, I said recently, I said to somebody, I was like, well, a few people, I was like, Korobov, yeah, he's kind of awkward. And they were like, I wouldn't say Korobov is awkward
They don't
at
know
all.
boxing.
He's, textbook. They were like, he's textbook Ukraine. I can't remember which country Korobov's from, but I think Ukraine. And they were like, yeah, textbook Ukrainian style. I was like,
and Ukrainian guys, some of them like Lomachenko's from the Ukraine, as well as Usyk, and they have like, just different movement and stuff like that. So Ukraine has a lot of good fighters that they integrated subtle trickiness. He's not like Victor Postal where he's like more straight up and down. Korobov is like,
yeah, Korobov, like fighters are not doing well. Those fighters, those Middle Eastern European, what the hell am I saying? Those Eastern European guys are not doing the shit that Matvey Korobov is doing for sure. But yeah, I think Jermall's got this. And another real big thing that's underrated about Jermall
Korobov's Russian. I just looked it up. He's from Russia.
Got you. Okay. So I was wrong. So sorry to any Ukrainians out there that.
But he still
was mad at me.
He's still fidgety. That doesn't change.
He's still in that category. Eastern European fighters, they have a style that's kind of similar. Korobov does not fit that mold. And I don't know if that's how he always was or if it's because the time he spent here in America. The point is, Matvey Korobov does not fight like his, I guess, peers in those countries, or the hail from those countries, I should say. But yeah, another big thing about Jermall that's very underrated is his ring IQ. his ring IQ is very, very underrated. Jermall is smart in that ring. You can like, and he listens to Ronnie Shields. That's another thing. A
Underrated
lot of
coach.
fighters don't listen. Yeah, like they can't. A lot of times, fighters can't. Or they'll listen to their coach. They'll hear what their coach is saying, but they can't go out there and implement what they just told them to talk about. When like the reason, like a lot of times, Jermall's knockouts or things that happen in fights come from him listening to his coach and then delivering what his coach wants him to deliver. In the J Rock fight, he told him just keep throwing that uppercut. It's there for you, whatever. Jermall was like, oh, but he, I'm missing with it, whatever. He's like, just keep throwing it. It's there for you. Knockout comes in round 5. Brandon Adams fight. Jermall was getting a little bit, I don't want to say wild, but you could tell he was trying to knock Brandon out.
Yeah.
After he had hurt his hand. And Ronnie Shields on the telecast, he's like, stop trying to knock the guy out. Stop trying to do that. And so Jermall chilled out a little bit, and you could see he gained more control from that. So Jermall can listen to Ronnie Shields and go out in the ring and implement what his coach is telling him to implement. Whereas certain fighters, I've heard their coaches give them advice, and then they just completely forget or just won't do what their coach wants.
And it's the right advice, and they don't do it, for whatever reason. They don't know how or whatever.
Hell yeah. Like,
you giving them too much gems,
so
Iccy. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up. Showtime Boxing. I'm going to wait for the announcement so we, just so everything's on the up and up. And then I'm going to tap in with you once everything's finalized. Because at the time of recording this video, these fights haven't been made fully official. But every indication looks like,
these are
rumors. But I want to see, because there might be some fights we don't even know about that get announced tomorrow. So I'm going to end it right here. And where can the fans follow you?
Iccy the One is on my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter. I use it for mostly boxing. So, but you can follow me on there. Instagram for sure. And y'all know my YouTube channel. And then my PSN is Sir Iccy the One. If y'all want to play anything with me, I don't have very many games that I'm into right now, but we could be in parties and stuff like that, discuss boxing, whatever. So that is Iccy the One, ICCYTHEONE. I know, you can see my name, but I spelled it out for some of you illiterate motherfuckers out there. But I love y'all.
All right, Iccy, I'm going to tap in with you as soon as these fights get announced, so it's all official, and we'll make it official.
So.
Hey, someone said that you was getting inboxes about me. What was that? They was mad at me?
People will be angry,
so
bro.
they send you like messages about me or mad at you? What happened? You don't have to say specifics. Yeah, don't. We can't give them too much time. Just
nah.
What happened?
Most recently I got like 2 messages from 2 different people. Whereas before I was kind of getting recognized in like live chats and stuff like that, like fans like from the channel, but then there'd be like 1 or 2 goofballs saying like stupid
So they
shit.
found you?
But now
how'd they find you?
I just gave up my social media.
Oh, okay.
But nah, people is
no, but the video's not out. They've already sent you the email. So how did they, or the DM? So how did they find you before that?
Probably just from the past. I guess
they
just
stalking
like,
you. I see. No, that's some stalker behavior.
Like, and they always say some like weirdo goofy shit like, "Oh, your boyfriend ego." Like, what the?
All right.
fuck?
On
like,
that note, we're out of here, bro. I'm done.
Don't ever slide in no random man's DM talking about some weirdo shit. Like, just as a rule of thumb, like if you're a man, just don't do that. Like,
bro, we're talking about boxing. What is it? Man, get these dudes out of here. Block them.
Yeah, and that's that's the crazy thing. They get mad at us for talking about men that they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And they be so ready to jump and defend on it. Like, they don't need y'all to do that. If everything I said here is wrong tonight, that'll go down in history or whatever, and y'all be able to hold.
They know it's not wrong though. That's why. Did Canelo avoid Charlo? I'm gonna ask you. Did Canelo avoid Charlo?
Yes.
Okay, that's the next episode. They're gonna really be mad at you. See you later, Iccy.
All right, bro.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.